Hi, I wanted to share a little bit about myself with you all. The reason I started Toddlers to Teens parent TV show is so that I can help others who might be struggling at home with their parenting. We all have our good and bad days. We all wonder sometimes why we did it, and there's other days why we know exactly why we did it. So basically 7 years ago nearly, I separated from my children's father, and I had a 3, 4 and 5-year-old. 3 children with special needs, one with a lifelong kidney condition, one with anaphylaxis, and one who, unbeknownst to me at the time, had Asperger's, ADHD and ODD. So we moved 1,000 kilometres away from all our family and our friends and our support network so that we could have the space that we needed and still live the lifestyle that we were used to, which for me was growing up on the beach. I have spent 7 years away from the beach, living on farms and various fun parks like the African Lion Safari and Paradise Gardens and Blue Gum Farm, a dairy farm, a horse racing farm, and a cattle and sheep farm. So I've lived many various ways, and sometimes not very nice ways, and others extremely nice ways. So you can basically say I've had the best of all worlds. But when I found myself on my own, after being at home as a stay-at-home mum for 5 years, I realised that I needed to re-educate myself because I didn't have the skills I needed to go back into the workforce, to go back and do secretarial or office administration, which I had been trained in for the last 10 to 15 years. So after looking through the university books, the TAFE books, the newspapers, I decided that mortgage broking was going to be for me. It's probably something that I would have to go out of the home to do, but I would manage. So after talking with a girlfriend, I realised that there was such a thing called an au pair, where you could have somebody come and live with you and give them an opportunity to see Australia, and if you provided them a room and food, in return they would give you up to 20 hours a week childcare or housekeeping. So that suited me, because I only needed somebody to be there in the afternoon when the kids got home from school at 3:30 until I got home at about 5:30. So for a period of 2 years I went out and I worked as a mortgage broker, and one day I came home to my au pair distraught in tears, and after asking her what had happened, she explained that my 6-year-old at the time had pulled a very big kitchen knife out and was chasing her around the house, and she was standing behind my eldest son at the time, and she thought my youngest son wanted to kill her, but it was actually he was trying to hurt his older brother because he stole the last lolly that he had found in the pantry. So I decided then and there that the universe was telling me this wasn't for me, working away from home, and I quit my job and stayed at home. Now I had a very big mortgage to pay on my own, which I thought at the time when I bought the house was a good investment, and that I'd be earning lots of money and I'd be able to keep it. There was a period of time where I went out and I waitressed at night to make sure I had enough money to pay all the bills and support the children. And then I had a funny turn and started, on 2 occasions, collapsed when I was out, was rushed off to hospital and had brain scans, lots of tests, and basically nothing came up. So the doctors put it down to stress. So I thought, well, it's just not worth it. There's no point in me having a house for my children on the beach. We were comfortable in one sense, but it was paying its toll on my health. So I decided to put my house up for sale, and the children and I ended up, after we sold the house, moving in with a friend of mine who became my partner, and we've been living there for the last 18 months. And Glenn is the stepfather to my 3 children, and he's very loving and supportive and caring in everything that I do, and I couldn't wish for a better stepfather and role model for my children. So when we moved in with Glenn, after I had all my health scares, and I then decided to go on and drop a big table on my foot, break my foot. So that was a bit hard, being immobilized, but I searched for a solution to earn some money, and I decided my kids needed to learn some manners. So I looked into an etiquette course, and I trained as an etiquette and manners consultant. Then I started my own business in Kingscliff and did a few programs for the locals here and their children. And although that went well, I still had to pay for a babysitter to come over on a Saturday to mind my children whilst I went out to do the classes. Now, that wasn't my ideal situation, because I've always wanted to have an online business, but I wasn't an expert at anything. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? I got a phone call from the doctor saying it was time for Nicholas's transplant, and that we needed to start doing the testing. So Nicholas's father put his hand up to be the donor, which is great, and he was compatible, and they went along and had the transplant, and everything's been fantastic, and he's going really, really well. I realised that I just couldn't keep going on the way I was going. I didn't want to be on Centrelink. I'm very grateful that there is such a thing as Centrelink, otherwise we wouldn't have had food on our table at various times over the last 6 years. But I just knew that I needed to have an online business, and that was, I didn't want to go out to work and leave the children to be minded by a babysitter or my partner. So I went and re-educated myself and learnt the technology and the tools that I needed to have an online business. And one day I just had a light bulb moment and realised, well, I didn't need to be the expert, and that I could get the experts in and they could help me. And so I jumped on LinkedIn one day and asked who would like to help me put together an online TV program, and within hours I had all my panel reply to my request, hence our 6 parenting experts. And then Amity and Ella Rose and Davinia Shari came along to help contribute to the show as well. So I'm so very grateful for the opportunity to be able to work from home, and I know in time that it's going to allow me to be able to stay home with the children and not have to go out to work outside of the home, which really doesn't suit my situation with 3 children with special needs. So I hope that my story inspires any of you out there who are thinking about making the change. It's about just educating yourself and asking people for help And when you do, you'll be surprised that there's many out there who want to help you with your dreams and goals, and along the way you help others as well. By sharing your story and being brave, you will inspire somebody to also do the same. Thank you.